Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, another YouTube user had asked for a video on how to change the bearings from the stock oil push bearings to regular ball bearings, which to get the ball bearings for these you need to order them from the l202 parts, and then you can swap them in. Anyway, so you're going to need a couple tools. You're going to need the little wrench that came with your vehicle, and possibly either a small flat blade jeweler screwdriver or one of two types of dental picks. Now, I don't have any ball bearings, so all I'm going to be able to show you is how to remove these and put them back in. So it's going to be the exact same process as if you're doing the actual bearings. You take these ones out and just push the new ones in. So start with the front wheel. Sometimes this bearing will actually pop out on its own. Mine actually is on there pretty good, and my bearing is actually wearing into my axle a bit. There we go. So there we go. Well, that one just popped right out. So let's try the dental pick first. Just pop it in, find the bottom edge lip. That's not going to work too easy. So let's see if we can get to it on the back side. Go through the back end. And what you're trying to feel for is a ridge lip on the bearing. Just push against it. And it should pop right out. So when you're going to put the new one in, line her up, get it on there evenly as possible. And from the looks of it, we're going to need another tool, which is going to be a small little hammer. And we need something that we can rest against the bearing and tap on without damaging the bearing. So I'm going to use the back end of this screwdriver, because you got to tap it in there evenly, like so. That's in place. Now this side is just going to go in real easy. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So if it's stiff like the outside one was, it's going to be the same thing. Now our outside bearing has a little bit more freedom than it did before, which is fine. So we'll just put the nut back on. And just tighten up as usual. And it'll stop on its own. And then push in firmly while you're holding the arms together. And give it a good snug up. Now, rear wheels should be the same process. Now, on this one, we only have an outside bearing to deal with. We don't have an inside bearing, because we have the hex hub here. Okay? So, start from the top, grab one of your two dental picks. Try and see if you can get it from the outside first. Looks like we're not going to be able to, so again we got to find an inside ridge. Use the pointy end, push at it from the back end. A little bit more light on this subject. That's a pretty precise fit on this one, if there even is one. And I'm going to say there actually is no rear wheel bearing. That's interesting. I had not noticed that before. No. So, looks like you don't have rear bearings to worry about. It's just going to be front bearings, and that's it. There's no actual... oh, but guess what? There is. But it's not on the wheel. Aha! Fooled ya. Alright, so now we got to get at the rear bearings. So, now you're going to need a screwdriver that you can take those apart with. So we need a star tip screwdriver. I have a favorite one around here that I like to use. Okay, now if you remember the process on removing your back uprights, unscrew the stabilizer up top, remove your bottom screw, I did the video this way for a reason, because some people are actually going to look for that rear wheel bearing, and the bearing is not on the back tire. There we go. Now, pull the axle out. Pop your bearing. Now both bearings are going to be the same on either side. So got that one out. Go from this side. Push this bearing through. Again, you need to find that inner lip. And your bearing's out. So, reversal. Put the bearing in. Bearing goes in. Axle. Slide it through. Remember the location where you removed everything from. If you forget, you've already got one side that's still together. And this one goes to the upper. Now, if your arms are already set on the lower section, you put them back the same way. I've been messing around a lot with different settings because of doing videos showing you guys the different setups on these things. So I'm just putting things back the way I had it last. Put your dog bone in place. Stabilizer is on the inside portion there. Don't lose this pin. You have to get that pin in there evenly too, so it all comes up flush. Put your wheel back on. That's it. So that's how you go about changing your bearings. Now, sorry I don't have any ball bearings, but exactly how you take this apart for the bearings, you push the new ones back in place. And when you have to change those ball bearings, it's the same process again for the fronts. The rears, you pull off the tire, disconnect your stabilizer, pull back the axle. You can take it all the way off, the C-hub. I prefer to take it all the way off just in case things are stiff. So take off your hub at the back, or rear upright, whatever you like to call it, and then remove your bearings and slap in your new ones, and away you go. That's simple. Okay. A lot of guys that go into the ball bearings, even with staying with a brushed motor, and they've noticed a bit of a performance increase as well. You're not going to get a whole lot of extra speed, but things are going to run much smoother because you're going to have less of a wear factor too. And what happens is, as these bearings, if you don't keep them lubricated, as they wear, they oblong, and it causes like a warpage movement, right? So then you got to replace them. At least with the ball bearings, you put them in, and what I would do with the ball bearings is take a little bit of grease and put some grease on each side of the ball bearing just to help keep the sand and stuff out of there, and slap them on, and the ball bearings are going to last you probably about 4 or 5 times longer than these bearings will. And even these bearings have lasted quite a long time for me with a lot of runs, and I'm still running fairly true on my wheels, so I'm not too worried about it at this point. But if you're going to go for the brushless motor upgrade and ESC combo unit from the L202 into your l959, l969, l979, Litehawk Brute, Litehawk Blast, and the Urban Renegade, because these are all basically the same vehicles, plus or minus a few looks and features with tires and, you know, but they all have and share the exact same transmission and exact same brushed motor, with the exception of the L202, which is this buggy, except with brushless ESC combo unit and brushless motor. Those will be your differences there, and of course your bearings, and it comes stock with metal dog bones. I've upgraded to metal dog bones on this because I wanted them. But anyways, that's where it sits. That's how you do the bearings. If you have any other questions that you want to know about these things, you know, feel free to ask. And if it's something I haven't messed with already, I'll find out for you, and then of course I'll do a video for you on how to do what you need to do. And we can go from there. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.